Welcome, welcome, welcome to Conversations with My Cuz. I am Shayla Shay.
It is me, your girl Michelle with the one L.
And you know what it is, brother love. I'm here, baby. DJ Big Rod.
Hey, Ra.
Hey, Ra.
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
I can't
Everything is everything.
How was y'all weekend? I had a fabulous one, but tell me about y'all's first. How was y'all
Happy
weekend?
You always
Sunday,
got
happy
stuff going on.
Sunday.
You tell us first, because I didn't do nothing.
Listen,
I was
I got a phone call from my son last week saying he was on winter break. Last minute, I'm like, okay, you telling me now? Next thing you know, I said, listen. He said, well, we got to do some kind of trip. I said, man, I was down in Florida, working the club, doing what I got to do and everything. So I got a flight back. I said, listen, look online, figure out what it is you need to do. I'm gonna come get you on Wednesday. We're gonna make it happen. He didn't find nothing. So I decided I gave him a big surprise. All week I went and got, so we got this big surprise. We jumped in the car Saturday morning. We drove to Philly. We went to see the Philadelphia 76ers, Boston.
Ooh,
nice.
Oh, man,
okay.
you had to see this guy's face, man. He couldn't believe it. We had the
How
most amazing time.
incredible.
Yeah, we got a hotel.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a hotel room out there, and then I had to eat the cheesesteak anime. Eat the cheesesteak.
Cheese stick.
So
Okay, so then that's a good reason why you didn't check for me, since you know I live like right by Philly.
Yeah, it was men's weekend. It was men's weekend.
That's all right. I could have popped
Okay.
in, like, hey.
Okay.
Pop back out.
So what's going on with y'all? How y'all doing?
I am just fantastic. I can't say I did anything this weekend though.
Oh man.
Yeah, I met up with one of my coworkers retired, and we met up and had brunch. A bunch of us from the job.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's what I did today.
I love
I've
brunch.
been in the house chilling. Yeah, brunches. I love brunches.
I do too.
Yeah. That's when
So it can be dangerous though, because I had a bad experience with brunch one time. Lost time, missed a day of work. It was just not a good thing. It's the unlimited, man. I didn't know until I stood up how bad it was. It was bad.
Yeah.
You must have ended up somewhere else. You wasn't supposed to.
No, that wasn't it. It's just how you feel. Like, I got up and I went to go to the bathroom and I realized that I needed to hold on to the walls. And that's when I was like, this was bad. Unlimited.
Yeah, that could be pretty
You
bad.
just creep in and what have you. And then next minute, I was like, whoa.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm limited to do you dirty every time. You got to be careful.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But
So what else is happening?
I'm trolling this week. ESPN source, Stephen A. Smith. Let's talk about the Alabama situation. With
Okay.
with Brandon Miller. With him actually being able to go out and play. They didn't. Long story short, Brandon Miller is a basketball player that plays for Alabama. His teammate Darius Miles asked him for a ride to the club with his homeboy. Next thing you know, long story short, they saying allegedly Darius Brandon Miller, he had went to dinner, left them in the where they was at going to the club, and then he returned to pick them up, and unfortunately they took a gun out the car, and unfortunately a young lady ended up getting killed. So the thing
Oh,
is now that's the story, but the thing when the cops investigated, they said that it was a text coming from a Darius Miles saying that bring my burner to me. But Brandon Miller is saying that he didn't have no acknowledgement of it, and he didn't see the text until he actually got until actually an incident happened because he was en route, and they allowed him to play, and the gun was legal. It was a legal handgun as well. It was just
okay.
supposed to have been under some clothes in the back seat. So it was supposed to have been Miles Davis gave it to his man, and that was it. He went and killed
So
the lady.
I'm just asking, is the issue that they allowed him to play, or
He
is the
wasn't
question about whether or not he has some responsibility in it?
Well, he wasn't charged. That's one of the things is, and I'm gonna point out to what Stephen A. Smith Stephen A. Smith has said is that in any other state you would have been a goner. Alabama's an open law state, open gun law state, and basically you could just go buy a gun anywhere as long as the gun is legal. But at the same time, is that you took a weapon for a young lady to get killed that actually your friends had taken and killed somebody. So um, the big thing around the country is, do we want this guy to continue to play basketball?
But I'm a little confused. Did he bring the gun knowing full well that there was a situation going on that potentially they were going to try and kill this woman?
I don't think it
Or
was something that was premeditated.
Right.
I don't think he knew what was going on, and I honestly don't know if he brought the gun. His attorney said that he didn't bring the gun, but apparently the gun belonged to the guy that texted him. It was his gun.
I know
he was like, "Bring my gun to me." I guess he wanted his gun. And even if he did bring the gun to him, he didn't know what the gun was going to be used for,
or that there was a situation occurring,
right? Because what they're saying is that they were in the back seat of his car. He gave the gun. The other dude handed the gun to the actual guy that killed the girl.
Actual shooter, exactly.
Right.
Okay.
So now I guess the whole thing is, was he privy to any knowledge of something going down, or was he just bringing dude his gun because that's his gun?
Well, being at the text, the question to me is the text. When exactly did you get the text, and did you really see the text? Or you looking
and
out?
Even if he did he know that something was going on? Because if you're talking about an open carry state, right?
Exactly.
That could be me saying, "Bring me my gun. Whatever. Bring me my purse." Right? You don't know what he just wants his stuff, so he's bringing it. Doesn't necessarily mean that something's going on.
That he knew what was going to take place.
Right.
Right. No, I'm in agreement. I believe that he should play, but at the same time, it's just I feel like it's going to be an X on his back because he's the number one player on the team. He's supposed to be like the number 5 overall player in the nation, and projected to go number 5 in the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
So with carrying all this weight, I just really feel bad that it was just a case at the wrong place,
at the wrong time,
wrong situation, and he went and played in South Carolina. I think it was on Tuesday and Wednesday night, and the booze was crazy. But kudos to him because he had his career
a career game.
A career
with 41 points.
41 points, and he did his thing. And, he totally ignored it. But like I said, it's rough. But like Stephen A. Smith said, that this man still has to live with the fact that he took a gun to somebody that eventually led to somebody's death.
Yeah, it's interesting for me. What I pulled from this myself is about how we can compartmentalize tragedy and trauma, right? And still function. Like, it's just unfortunate that
it is.
We're programmed to that. Like, the survival skill will have you take something that tragic and be able to put it on the shelf enough to be able to play a game and score 41 points.
Yeah. So it's, like I said, it's just a bad.
She said, I still have to live my life even after all this is said and done. And I guess if he had no part in it, or whether he did, maybe his conscience was clear enough to say, I didn't do anything wrong.
Or he hasn't processed it.
Or he hasn't, or he did know and just was like, oh, well.
See, that's the whole thing is this young man's getting ready to go into the NBA. Now, does this affect his NBA career? Does this affect teams actually wanting to draft him with that kind of baggage?
Yeah, I mean, it's baggage, but my thing is, if he's not charged with the crime and he doesn't get charged, and I think,
hey, OJ was in charge, right?
No, OJ.
Well,
and look at what's the football player? I think Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
Didn't he kill his wife?
Yeah, but he actually got charged.
Well, but he was still playing.
He actually no.
Before they found out that it was him,
he was playing while he was on investigation. But once
that's what I said. He was still playing after he killed her.
Yeah, Yeah.
So right, that's what I'm saying. He killed her and went on about his day.
Mm. Like I
Yeah,
said,
that's something.
I just
Yeah,
hope the young man, like I said, really, really get past him. And my condolences go out to the family as well, because I know they have to feel away.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many
absolutely.
things that happen at, the succession of events that occurred to cause her demise
Right,
is really
right,
horrible.
right.
Right, definitely.
I mean,
And
they're going to know that he had got the text message, and they're going to know if he responded to the text message. Now, are they going to know whether or not he knew that he was bringing the gun for a potential murder? Because they said that after he handed the gun to old boy, an argument happened.
no,
So
they're saying that
maybe
the argument occurred, and then he
he
came,
right, he
and
was
then they
killed.
gave the
No,
gun.
they didn't say that the argument happened before he got there, did it?
Yeah, he already had gotten to the argument. Then they said that he went back into the restaurant or whatever the case where they were at, and he was coming out in the car. And they actually said that the young lady's car was actually blocked, and it could have been blocked by their car, which caused them.
Right. That was another
But that was his
controversy,
car.
whether or not he intentionally
Because
blocked her in so
car,
she couldn't
right,
get away.
right.
So that was another point that they made.
That was
So,
another
and then the question is, one of the questions that they asked is whether or not he did anything to try and de-escalate the situation.
situation, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, so we don't know.
yeah, it's around. Bottom line, it's just about the people that you put yourself around in the situations that you put yourself in. You just got to be careful out there.
Yeah, because things
You
can
do.
go wrong
And any
very quickly, and you don't
very
even, you just minding your little Red Riding Hood business, right?
I tell your
Skipping
life can be
along.
changed in a matter of seconds by
yeah,
a choice,
yeah. Well, life can be taken that.
one choice.
It's
Absolutely.
crazy. It's crazy. But like I said,
Absolutely.
condolences to the family, and
Absolutely.
so when he's able
Absolutely.
to move on with a career, you know, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope that I just hope, I like to believe that people are genuinely good in their heart and that it was not a situation where, it was premeditated or anything of that nature. But that's
Right,
the,
Right.
right.
positive
Definitely.
person in me.
Yeah, me
I
too.
like to believe that people are good. The world is a wholesome place sometimes.
I got
Sometimes.
nothing on. I got nothing on that one.
Michelle, like, watch out.
Listen, I
They did
believe
it.
what you show me until you show me something different. I don't,
Yeah.
whoever you are is who you are. I don't know. I don't know this person, so I don't have no thoughts about who he is as a person, one way or the other.
I don't
All I
know.
know is that somebody died.
Yeah, and it
Right.
was interesting too that when the director of athletics they had interviewed him earlier last week, and he was saying that this shouldn't impact him, and that's why we allowed him to rejoin the team, because again, once he was cleared legally, there
Yeah.
was no reason for us to hold him back. But they're saying that a lot of other people are saying, like, well, if he wasn't the basketball star, if he wasn't the person that he was, then you get in trouble just for missing certain amount of classes in school. If you have a fight, they want to put you out, this, that, and the other. Now you're in the middle of a murder investigation, and you're still allowed to play the sport.
Right.
Mm.
So it's just
Yeah. He's not charged, so they can't. I mean, legally, he's not being charged of a crime.
right.
Right.
So
So
if he
you
didn't do
can't
anything
punish
wrong,
him for
you can't
something.
punish him for something, right?
Yeah, well, that's what the sports director said, and I kind of agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Unless
mean,
they
we don't
charge
know.
him,
We
what you
don't
gonna do?
unless they charge him. Then that way, then he should be able to play.
That's it.
All right.
I'm sure the family is
Let's put
probably
to
like
him then.
whatever. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That's it. So
What else is happening?
ain't nothing. Just really checking on y'all girls. See what's going on. What's going on with our guests? We got a
Well,
you know,
what time?
We got it. Yeah, we do got a great show coming up. But go ahead, Shay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if there was a special thing going on. If if it was a certain thing
No.
we got going on, because I think it is time for
Uh-oh.
Let Me Ask My Cuz. Both can't do it.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing it. Hey,
Good job.
cousins.
We need the guy on the couch back.
Yes, we do. I don't know what's going on with the guy on the couch, but hey, anyway.
He texted, he apologized, but
Yeah, I'm mad at the guy on the couch right now. I want the world to know. Everybody knows.
Ah,
Yeah.
what's the question?
Heavens. I got a question.
All right.
How much access is too much access in a relationship? I asked this because I saw this video and this man was talking about how passwords and things that if you're in a relationship or marriage or whatever and or a life commitment that a person, your partner not having access to your password in your phone is as if you're being a secretive person, that you're keeping secrets and holding something back from your partner if they don't have full access. How can they full access? How can they not? How can they have full access if they don't have access to your phone or things of that nature? What do you guys think about giving access, that much access to your partner, passwords and things and all of those type of stuff?
Hmm. Do I go first?
You can go first.
I guess at the core, it's nothing wrong with it. It depends on whether or not it is used to snoop and control. Like, let's say you lose your phone or whatever, and you need my phone. Here's phone, this password. But to say I want to go through your phone and scroll and see all your messages and see what you got going on because I need to know your business is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's snooping. It's like going through my purse. And while it's not private, it's also not yours. So,
Okay, Ra, what you think? What you think?
Well, listen here.
Now we're talking about relationship. You're in a relationship or a marriage, and
I
that's your.
heard the question,
Okay.
man. Let me answer it now.
Because you know you got to get you on track.
Because this was a great question you asked, and I've had a couple comments. Let me have a sip because this is a real question.
Let me hear this.
Now, I said to myself personally, this is why I am single. Because I have not yet met a woman that kept her phone unlocked.
Okay.
So to me, I believe access, if you're in a relationship, it shouldn't be no locked phones. It shouldn't be, what are we doing here? You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't believe me personally, just me, because you know me, I'm open. The whole world knows Rob. We already know that already. Like we talk about me on TV all the time, right? So what I'm trying to understand is I need a woman like that too. You understand? Like you ain't got to lock your phone, boo. Nor do I care what you got in it. You understand? But what I'm saying is, it's just the fact that I would appreciate a woman, and those are one of my things. That's why, and why I laughed is because that's why I'm still single, ladies, because y'all think it's all other stuff. But I know
it is.
Yeah, because it's something like.
Oh, you want these women that are only with you for about 4 to 6 months to just be open and unlock their phones around you? Even though there's no 100% commitment.
Listen to me. Listen, put it all on the table. Let's talk about it. Let's make it work. Don't show me your representative. Goddamn, I need to know who he is.
Everybody shows their representative in the beginning.
But that's the problem. I don't.
I agree.
I don't.
I agree. I don't either.
You understand? I don't. Ain't no representative, baby. This is all right. This is all right.
They be running too. Like
sometimes the reason for the representative is so that you can kind of get to know the person a little bit without giving so much of yourself to everybody you date.
I agree. Can I answer the question now about the?
Oh yeah. Answer the question.
All right. So I feel like access is fine. Insecurities that cause you to want to have my password because you want to look through my phone to see what I'm doing is a problem for me. Because first of all, my conversations with my friends are personal. Those they share with me their business, and that is not my man's business.
Correct.
I don't know. When I'm in a relationship, I usually don't lock my phone because I feel like, whatever. If you want to use my phone, you can use my phone, but not for, like Shay said, not for the purpose of going through my phone to see what I'm doing. And if you have to do that, then I find like there's no trust. If we don't have the trust, then we don't need to be together. I trust you, you trust me. I don't need access to your phone.
Right.
Because for me to have access to your phone means that I don't trust you in some sort of way that I need to see your phone. Why?
No,
I've always thought the password was for in case you lose it and people don't, a stranger doesn't get.
hell no, that's not
No,
what.
I'm saying. I know what you might be
Here's a
thinking.
question. I hear
There
you,
was
but
a
let's
lot
take a
there.
scenario. You have girlfriends. You don't you have private jokes with old friends who are female that no one else may understand? It doesn't mean anything, but can be taken the wrong way. Yeah, and to me, my conversations with any of my friends, whoever that is, are my conversations with my friends, and vice versa for him. If he wants to share his conversations with his boys with me, that's on him.
But
My girlfriend trusts me to keep their personal business their business.
Correct.
but this is what I'm saying. So if my thing is like one, it's a trust issue, right? So
It is a trust issue. I agree.
Here's my major situation with this. This is some bullshit. That
Whoa.
I wouldn't turn around and go through a woman's phone. It's just the fact that if you're my woman, I don't need access to your phone. But my thing is, it's like at the same time is I know who you is. You must have did a little something. So I know how you can be. I know your personality and all that. So I'm just saying in general, I wouldn't be fair. I wouldn't be afraid to go through your phone. You understand?
Okay.
But I wouldn't want to go through your phone anyway. But my thing is
I
that
agree.
what's in that phone to me, like just not me even thinking. I'm just saying is that me? I put my phone down. Like I said, if I lock my phone, it's probably because I got credit cards or something in there. But
Right.
at the time, it was like, baby girl, whatever. Grab that phone and dial this number. I don't have a problem now.
Right.
If there's something in my phone, you know what Rod is capable of.
Yeah, and I'm like that too. It doesn't have to be a locked phone.
Right.
But if it's a locked phone and you feel like you need to ask me, if a man asks me for my password, that's a red flag for me.
Why?
It's control.
Why are you asking me for my password? Why do you?
Now we going.
That's to me that is a lack of that's control. You want to control the situation, and that means that there's some sort of insecurities there. I'm not asking a man for his password. If he wants to give it to me, that's fine. I would never ask a man for the password to his phone. Ever.
But it could be anything. It could be like, yo, I need the password to get such and such and such and such. It's like I said before, it depends to me on a relationship. Me as myself.
What's the such and such and such and such?
Yeah, what's the
I don't
such and
really
such?
see any.
No, what I'm saying, it depends to me on me as myself as a man in a relationship. I'm only thinking how I would think as a man. So to me is yes, I would turn around and say, if I see if it's access phone code or whatever the case may have been, or I would think about it. Let's say it's just something you installing locks, Wi-Fi locks. So you setting shorty phone, oh, give me that. They start doing all this shit. That's a problem to me.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's not even my MO. So what I'm trying to say is at the same time is that it's not about control, because if I'm asking for your password, it's for something that I'm doing at the current time.
No. That's not what I mean.
That's not what she meant.
That's not what I meant.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
if
that's a
you
different
using
thing.
her phone, hey babe, and she say, hey, it's in my phone. What's the password? Da 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 da. Okay, fine.
Exactly.
If we are in a relationship and we're starting out, and you're asking me for my password for no reason at all,
oh, that's a stalker. You don't know what
that's my point. My point is
that's a red flag.
That is my point. That's a red flag for me that you're asking me for my password for, because my first response is going to be for what? For what?
Oh, that's a stalker. But what I'm saying is it comes to the point where if you're in a relationship or whatever you're doing or whatever the case may have been, if you just turn around and say,
I mean, you could do that too, but I'm saying if I'm in a relationship with you and I just say, give my phone, here's my password, I'll do that. I don't care. Because if I'm in a relationship with you and we solid, I don't care if you have my password. That's not the point. I don't care if you have it.
It's
So
well,
if you
it's
have
whether or not
access
you're trying to use it as a
as
means of
control,
control
But that
or
wasn't,
exactly.
trying to
you said
snoop because
access.
there's some level of insecurity.
But
Now,
see,
I'm in agreement that my friend's business is mine, and it's not something that I would want. I don't think that when you have this whole, we're open about everything. I'm not open about my friend's business. That belongs to me because
Right.
we're not all in this group friendship. So you don't get to always know what's happening with them. So in that instance, I need some privacy.
Yeah.
right, but
And
I'm
I don't think everything should be laid out on the table. I feel like just because we're in a relationship, we still have to have our own level of independency.
right.
Everything should not be, that's like saying, okay, let me give him access to my diary.
No, 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 no.
I can't have
I
a
think
personal thought without sharing that with my partner. Come on.
Right.
you see, this is the situation at hand that we're not understanding. Y'all are taking it the wrong way. What I'm saying
I'm sorry.
is that is
He's
listen to
trying to,
me. Listen,
I
listen
said
get
I'm
to
us
me.
to
sorry.
understand.
It's like I said, my friend's business belongs to me. Ooh, 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 and all
No,
that.
no, we're saying that as a
Hold
reason
on.
why we don't give access to
You
our phone
didn't let me
because of that.
explain. Can I explain? Can I explain?
Go on,
So
explain.
what I'm trying to get to understand is it's not it's just a level of demand that you're with. So like if I have access to your phone, trust and believe, I'm not going through your phone. I don't care what you
You're
your
talking
friends are
about
doing.
you.
Right.
Yes, we understand that.
Right. So bottom line, if it ever came up to a situation where I said, me personally, babe, what's the password to
That's a
your
whole
phone?
situation,
Or whatever,
Marcel.
whatever. No, but if you have a problem with giving it to me, it creates an issue for me as a man because one, you're prejudging me, right?
You're having a problem if she doesn't. If you say, "Hey, what's the password?" because you're looking for something or you need access to something in her phone, that's a
Right,
different scenario. We're
right.
talking about someone just trying to gain a level of control over you by having that
But
information.
that wasn't the
It's
question
a
you asked.
different.
You said access to the phone. So
The
when I
question I asked was, "What do y'all think about having access, passwords, and things of that nature?"
of
And we were
course,
both explaining our reasons for having them or not having them.
right, but
So we're not in debate about your
It's not a
position.
debate about your
Right. We're
position at
fine
all.
with your position.
I'm just trying to let y'all
We're
know.
good
Because
with
you're trying
you.
to get us to understand something
We
when
Yeah,
we
I'm trying to.
totally understand your
and
point
we
of view, but
understand.
Yeah,
in addition to that, Michelle and I are also talking about reasons why it would be an issue to give your password to someone you're dating, which is your friend's business, which is in your phone, which is private because that's between you and your friend, and whether or not that has anything to do with that person trying to have some control. It goes the same way for women,
Both ways.
right?
Right.
When a woman needs her man's password, needs it because she got to keep tabs on what he's doing or where he's going, that is an issue.
That's a
that
problem.
shouldn't be that shouldn't be in a relationship. If we are trusting each other, then I should be able to either lock or unlock my phone and we're in a good place. Either
Absolutely.
right.
way.
But my thing is I wouldn't even think that deep. And what I'm saying with y'all is I wouldn't even dig that deep to even think it. What's your password? 458. They can go and do what you gotta do.
Yeah, because you're
Don't even
looking at it
think
from
that
your
way.
perspective of you're not going through her phone. So you don't think of it that way. We're thinking of it from a space where that person, because they're,
But why do
they're
y'all think that way? Is what I'm trying to. That's what
because
I'm
it
trying
exists.
to
There
get.
are
Well,
some people
let me just
that
say
do
this.
that.
Maybe we've been in situations like that.
Okay,
There are
When
some
you
people
have
that do it.
insecure partners
that's what
that
I'm saying.
feel like they need to gain access. So it's a thing. And it's a level of an insecurity and there's a lack of trust in that relationship. Feel like you need to have the pass. If it's freely given, it's all good. I'm not going through your phone. Please believe me. Most times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, you're going to know if the person that you're with is not somebody you can trust. You're going to know if the person you're with is a liar. Their movements are going to show you something different. Whether you have the password or not, you're
Right.
going to see something. If you choose not to see it, then that's on you. And you're just with the person that you're with. So having access to the person's phone doesn't mean anything if they doing
Correct.
whatever they're doing.
Right. Because I don't need a smoking gun. I just need to think.
Right.
that's what's
And what are you
happening.
gonna
As
do
far
with
as I'm
it? So you go
concerned.
through the phone, you got
Right.
the access, you see the man's cheating. Are you gonna leave him?
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying. Whatever you find in that damn phone, you deserve to find it. That's first of all.
If you're looking for
But,
something in your phone, it's
what I'm
usually because
saying
you don't trust the person
is
that
right,
you're with,
but
so you're looking for something.
I find out that it's a distrust sometimes in women with certain men that actually have that way of thinking. Because
And men with
I don't,
women.
I
Let's be
don't,
clear.
I don't.
He
Again,
only sees it from
talking
his
about
side, but
we're talking about
Oh,
right.
he only sees it from the side. We forget. That's
Brother
right.
love,
The
brother
blinders.
love
The
perspective. Please
blinders.
stay
The
with me,
blinders.
child. Stay with me. Wake up. So
The
what I'm trying
blinders.
to say is that really is that because it's happened a lot. And I'm like, damn, why? Like, sometimes it kind of like, I don't care about your funky phone, stinky phone. Get it out of here.
That's me.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
What? I don't care about your phone.
right, but it makes me look at you as a woman. Like, I mean, you're still playing these games. Like, we're grown. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't play the phone games at this time.
So ain't that a red flag though? If a chick is concerned about your phone like that?
Well, not my phone, her phone.
No, we're talking about you. If a woman is concerned about your phone and who you texting and who you talking to and all these different things at this stage of the game, that would be a red flag to me.
Brother love.
If my phone rings and the first thing he's like, "Oh, who's that? Why you answer your phone?" I'm like,
so your phone done went off 3 times. You didn't look at it.
You didn't answer it, right? So that right there, I'm not doing. I'm not doing any of that.
Now, see, y'all opened up a can of worms because now we talking about behavior patterns. So like
it all goes back to the phone and having access.
All right. If you don't answer the phone 3 times, what's the problem? I answer my phone all the time.
I don't answer my phone all the time. I look at the phone and say, I'll call them back later.
Right, but
that shouldn't be a problem, though.
I'll say I'll call you back. Whatever the case is that I still answer my phone, even if I'm dating, whatever the thing is that sometimes to me, I want to answer my phone in front of whoever I'm dating so she doesn't even feel that way. That's why I say I'm
not doing all that.
I am not doing all of that.
Do it because it doesn't.
If you feel some type of way because I don't answer my phone, then that already shows me something about you that I have to watch out for.
I'm not a believer that just because somebody calls you that they get access to you.
Exactly.
My time is my time, and just because you call. So I don't answer my phone.
I don't have to answer my phone. She don't answer the phone for me sometimes when I call.
No, so, I'm doing something.
It is because lifestyle's different. Business. I got to answer my phone.
It doesn't matter. But if a person is having a problem with you not answering your phone,
no, but it's called the behavior pattern. If you answer your phone all the time, then all of a sudden you just.
We're not talking about all of a sudden.
Right. No. So what I'm saying is behavior.
We're not talking about all of a sudden. We're talking about if I don't answer my phone because I'm with you, I'm not answering my phone because I don't feel like answering
but then
my
that's
phone.
How it starts. Then
how does a person know that I answer my phone all the time if they're not with me all the time?
But that's a pattern. No, I'm just saying that's a pattern. If you're with somebody all the time and they answering for, hey, what's up? Let me call you back. Da, 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 da. Let me call you back. I'll return your phone call later, whatever. All of a sudden the phone rings 15 times. Now you don't.
We're not talking about a pattern. We're talking about behavior that happens all the time. I don't answer my phone all the time.
Well,
I just said that.
Okay.
Even if I'm with you or not with you at the end of the day, but it is what it is. Again, you're not getting my password. How about that?
See, give me the password, anime.
You gotta get my password. And again, you know what? Let me not say that because, like I said, my phone most times when I'm in a relationship, my phone is unlocked anyway. So it doesn't matter to me. Or like you said, it's locked because I have information in it that's
right. But if somebody
wants
information, somebody wants the information or whatever the case may have been, I just don't have a problem with saying, hey, the password is boom, 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 boom. Because like I said, it's better to be an open book anyway.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we're not an open book though, because we don't share the password.
Yeah, sure represent.
It doesn't. This means that my business, my personal business with my friends is not yours.
But yeah, being personal.
We're gonna move on because we have a great guest.
Thank you.
Because this could have been a whole hour of a conversation, and we're not going to keep it going. We're going to bring her on.
I'm just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, all month long, this has been Black History Month, and we've been celebrating Black authors. So this is the last Sunday of Black History Month, and we're bringing on a phenomenal sister. Her name is Ketari Cole. She's a published author, and we just going to talk to her about her journey. Hey, Ketari.
Hey, Ketari.
Hey. That was a very interesting conversation, by the way.
So what you think about that? You giving access?
You giving access to the past phone or what? What's the deal?
I agree with the ladies. It's not about the reason. No, but so a few things. I'm not giving access just to satisfy your ego or your questioning what's going on in my phone. If it's, I could be washing dishes or something and something is going on that you do need access, or I may need access. Hey, my password is 1234. I got my hands inside of this turkey. Yes, but just to say, oh my goodness, I love you, you love me. My password is ABC.
No,
I'm my ATM number.
Exactly. Here's my ATM pin.
Here y'all go with the ATM stuff. See,
we don't need to do all of that just to be in lust. Come on, stop.
But no, I got it. I understand that. I understand for, but
we said the same exact thing.
No, I agree with the young
We're
lady.
controversial.
It's because it's us. It's us,
right?
Anyway, how's your Sunday?
He got the pretty lady come in the building. He's like, oh yeah, I agree with her.
I agree with her. You right, girl. You right.
You right.
Thank you for agreeing with me, Rob. Appreciate it.
I see it from your perspective.
Anyway, welcome, Ketari, to the show.
Thank you.
The whole reason for you being here is because we want to really talk to Black authors, talk about the genre, talk about your journey, talk about this publishing thing. Like, we wanted to be able to give other viewers the roadmap to some degree about what do you do when you have this idea that you want to write a book, and how do we get it done, right? And share with us your story a little bit, who you are, what you're doing, all kinds of great stuff. As brief as I can. My name is Ketari Cole. I'm a published author. I first became published in 2016 with a poetry book. I started with a poetry book. I started out writing poetry and short stories. I've actually been writing since about 4th or 5th grade. Never did I think, though, like even when I was writing my first novel, never was my intention to become a published author. It just kind of happened that way. I wrote for my enjoyment. I wrote it for my own personal therapy, just to kind of, it's always been something that I've really enjoyed. Maya Angelou is one of my favorite people. I believe the first long form book I ever read that really changed my life was I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It resonated with me in so many ways, and she's probably the only person. And I love R&B celebrities, artists, things like that. The only person I've ever probably stand for, like that I would probably lose my shit, if I can say lose my shit over, is probably Maya Angelou. So I could see, I don't know, probably somebody that I'm a fan of, and just be like, oh, hey. But her, I would have probably like dropped my drink, and like you would have thought she was a rock star. The
way you probably
acted up. Yeah.
And all that, right?
You probably would have needed security after. I would have been like, oh, but it's because just her words, like so many of her words. And once I, pretty much learned who she was and her path of life and things like that, I just really admired her, still. So she's a hero of mine. So I wrote my poetry book. I put my poetry book out as I knew my novel was coming out, and I put my poetry book out just as a teaser.
A little appetizer.
Yes, and at the end of my poetry book was the first chapter of my novel. So it was kind of just to say, hey, this is coming. When I first wrote my novel, I wanted to be traditionally published. In some ways, I still want to be traditionally published. I do fight with it, but I just think me being old school, and that was always a thing for authors, is to be traditionally published, to be in brick and mortars, be in a store, be able to, see your book in Barnes and Nobles, things like that. However, with technology and social media and things like that, being self-published is just as successful. So it's kind of a toss-up. But
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
With being traditionally published, is it like a record deal? Do y'all get in advance on the money on the book?
Yes.
or anything. See, that's
Yes.
why you like it. See, I would like tradition. I would like tradition.
That money up front.
Exactly. So not only with
Traditional.
yes, not only with being traditionally published, not only do you get an advance, and then then you roll into the royalties, kind of like a record deal.
Hey.
Okay.
But
Okay.
also, it's easier in a sense because so there are pros and cons. So some of the pros are, of course, the advance, the royalties. The publishing house will do the marketing for you, the any art, the book cover, the all of those things, the synopsis, like all of those things, they'll do for you. Any speaking engagements, book signings, things like that, they will do all of those things for you. As a self-published author, you have to do all of those things yourself. So when I self-published my book, I had to find someone to do all of those different things. I had to find my own editor. I had to find my own person to do the artwork for my book. I had to get a photo shoot for my photos. I had to line up my own book signings. I had to, you really have to pound the pavement. Some of the cons, though, one of the biggest cons for me with being a traditionally published author, and this is probably one of the things that I grapple with the most, is you can say, hey, Penguin is interested in your book, right? And whoever the editor is that you're working with at this publishing house saying, hey, we're going to give you $100,000 for this book. And then you sign the contract. They have the right to change everything in your book. They can change we don't like the names. We don't like the names of your we don't like the city that your book is in. We don't like the storyline. We don't like that this person did this particular thing. They can change anything because you've pretty much, when you sign that contract with them and they fund you, you're pretty much signing everything over to
the rights to your book, basically.
The rights over, yes. And
wow, okay, I didn't know that.
So that's one of the cons for it. So in a sense, I would prefer, if I could have it my way, I would want to be a hybrid author. And hybrid is where you have a publishing house for particular works, but then you have other works where you want it to be strictly you, strictly your words, your everything, and that's possible. It's and a lot of people do it actually kind of like chicken before the egg type of thing. Some people do it. Some people become hybrid because they were traditionally published and they have a following that way. And then they decide, okay, once I start on this particular series, or I'm going to another series or another storyline, I want to do this myself. I already have yourself.
Right.
Exactly. Do publishing houses, when you get contracts with them for a book, do you also have to like have a contract for additional books? Similar to like record deals, will they say to you, you have to give me XYZ amount of records in order for your contract to be satisfied?
A lot of times, yes. So I'll use myself personally now. So as you know, I published my book myself. I published my first, I had three books that I've published. My poetry book and also the first 2 novels in my series. So I did publish those. And then as I was working on book 3, because there were 5 books in my series, as I was working on book 3, something kind of shifted in me, or pretty much magnified in me, where it was like, I wanted to change the books a little bit. I didn't feel 100% about the first 2 books that I put out.
Okay.
So I decided to take them down from being published and got them revised. So that's where I am now, in the process of revision. So now I'm getting my books revised. The person that is editing my books, she has her hand in the industry. So she finished and she greenlit book 1, which means I sent it to her. She edited it and she told me what revisions I needed to work on these particular things and send it back to me. So I did that. She said, it's great. I love it. Now we're working on book 2. And so book 2 is where I am now. I'm in the process of revising book 2. It's been rocky. But I've been in the process of doing it for about 2 years, but I want it to be right. So I don't want to rush it, but been lifing. So
yes, life.
life.
Are you able to to put out book one while you're still working on book
No,
two, or you
so
know?
that's no. So in me answering your question, so basically what my editor is telling me is, hey, I have these people that I have lined up that I can get on board to be your agent that can get you to the publishing houses. But my requirements are, so book one is done. I need to have book two done and greenlit. And she also wants the treatment for book three. So they want to be able to see if it's a
They want the whole
series.
series.
Exactly. What do you have? How far are you? Because basically they can
Okay.
sign it and say, the contract can say, okay, we want 4 books from you or 5 books from you in the
Right.
series, but we've only seen 2, and then it could be 10 more years before I get, book 3 and 4 done.
Right.
But you want to
Right.
see the other books are also in the works. So that's
Okay.
pretty much where I am now. And once I can do that, then I would she will be able to get me to the next step. Self-publishing wise, though, what I have learned in hindsight is, excuse me, I would wait. Like, let's just say I decided not to go the traditionally published route and use my editor to get me to an agent that can get me to a publisher. I would probably hold off republishing books 1 and 2 until I'm at least done, until book 3 is done and I'm in the process of getting book 4 done, because just the experience that I do have, I realize that life is crazy, and I don't want to I don't want to stop the
Money.
engine.
Oh, sorry.
Money.
Yes.
That's definitely that. But I don't want to, I don't want to have people waiting, because
the pressure, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, because I have people like inboxing me now saying, hey, I'm waiting on book 3, and I'm like, oh, already. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was one of them.
So the thing is that I go through these things with my friends all the time, and it's kind of like relating to music. And sometimes, in my mind, I'm like, well, if you get with a publishing company and get hot, get that series out the way. Now your name holds that weight.
Right.
So when you go into self-publishing, now it's kind of like it's kind of like what Prince did when he was on Warner Brothers. And
he already has the following.
And now he has a following, because these machines, they could take you to places where you've never ever dreamed or imagined to be there. And sometimes when they say the industry is jerking me, or they did this, they did that, but they made you a household name. Now it's up to you to take that name and now gain your legacy.
Precisely.
Right. So that's what I was thinking.
Which again is why I would prefer to be a traditionally published author first, because I would be a household name. I would be more, nationwide. But if that's what I want to be, is I want to be worldwide. I want to be a worldwide known author. And me being self-published, while I got great reviews, I got people, it wasn't just my family and friends reading my books. It was other people, people that I didn't know that were catching on. But at the same time, it still felt very local. And I want my voice to be heard. I want to, shout my words from the rooftop. And I want people to know, this is her work. And, I love her work. And I want it to be in different languages. I want it to be, so that's my goal.
Right.
And I know
no limitations to it.
Yes,
at all.
But I know some of the other authors that we had on in the previous weeks for this Black History Month program talked about the struggle in trying to be traditionally published. And because of that, they're going the self-publishing route. So tell us how you even are on that track to be, traditionally published, or what can they look forward to, if there's any like nuggets of information that we could share and that kind of stuff.
So it is very hard to be traditionally published. It is. And so a lot of times now, which it was not this way 10 or 15 years ago, a lot of times traditionally, even publishing houses want to see an author have a following before they sign them.
Exactly.
So you still have to build yourself up. You still have to, pound the pavement yourself to get your name, to get some traction in your name, and not completely rely on the traditional, the publishing house, because they want to see what work you've done prior to them. They want to know you have fans that are waiting for your work. So that's one of the things that they want to see. And I really I would never say names, but a lot of times, because I have friends in the author circle and things like that, and a lot of people will say, the the publishing houses don't know what the hell they talking about. They don't want to sign me. They don't want to, give me this. So I got to self-publish myself. But then you read their work and it's like,
it's not that good. It's not that good. I see why.
I understand you either. And I'm not being funny. And hey, people may have a problem with my work. But I'm like, yeah, sis, you probably want to get.
You're not that hot.
You're just not that good.
And the sad part about it is I've seen, and we probably all have seen, if you get books on Amazon or, ebooks and things like that, 99 cent, the what is it called? Where if as long as you have the Kindle thing, I can't even publishing, the errors, the grammar, it's just like, and those are the ones that are pretty much saying that the publishing houses are hating. And I'm like, yeah, did you have anybody read this over? Did you have anybody read
or
this
you
book
get
over?
the books, the guys be outside, especially on 125th Street in Harlem.
Oh, yeah.
I bought a book or two because, I support.
I do too.
The arts. I support
and I support too. And it's
but that's like digging your hand down into a
don't know what you're
box.
Get.
You're not even looking. You just pull it up like, thanks. How much was that? And you're just like, I don't know. I don't know what I got. I don't know where it's going, but I'm supporting.
Hard. It's hard.
Right, but see, the thing I appreciate though is that you're enlightening everybody on it, because it's the same thing. Like when I'll be honest with you, when somebody says I got a book on Amazon, I'll be like, yeah, I get
now anybody can get a book on Amazon. It's not you don't have to do much.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. Amazon has been like there's no, Amazon is in it for money, so they're not going to turn anybody's books away.
Turn anybody's books away, exactly.
They're not going to turn it away. They're not going to say, "Oh, this book is horrible. We're not going to put this up." No, they're not going to do that. So it's been flooded so much that if somebody tells you they have a book on Amazon, are you really going to take them seriously? Unless you've read their work before. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
and the thing is, I've met people that had books on Amazon, and it's like, okay, well, what's going on with the book? Oh, no, I'm working downtown at the 5 and Dime right now. I had to put that on hold. It's like it's a follow up behind it, and you're like, oh, I got this book. So it's like, so are you able just to go ahead and throw things up on the internet and see how it really works? And if it doesn't work for you, now you want to go back to driving the bus and doing something else.
Right.
You understand?
Some people have a passion for it. Some people just feel like I can write a book. I'm just gonna write a book, and then there's that. I'm gonna put it on Amazon.
All the work that goes around it, they don't want that part. They just want to write it, and then.
Also, what I have found, and I will have to be honest and say, I had I not paused myself, I could have easily fallen into that. But a lot of people think I put my blood, sweat, and tears into writing this book. As horrible as it may be,
that's true.
People, if you to sit down and look at a blank page and turn that into 400 pages of something is hard, no matter how trash it might be.
True.
That's a lot.
I struggle with 750 words required for my papers.
Exactly.
Like, what? I don't even know where to go.
But hold on, not to cut none of y'all off. Can I hear about your series of books? We talked about the business and we're running out of time. Please,
they're really good.
Give me something good. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. So my
talk about Amina a little bit.
So the first two books in the series are about a girl named Amina, who's pretty much struggling with life as a teenager and dealing with her past. She had a really bad growing up. She had a really bad really bad childhood. And both books are connected, but the first book is the start of it's kind of talks about her childhood where parents were on drugs. She was raised around drugs. She ended up selling drugs herself. She had a boyfriend that was a drug dealer. He cheated. It's kind of intercommingled. The book is called Terror Town. So the book is based loosely off of my life. I'm from Chicago, and I was raised in a neighborhood that was named Terror Town.
All right.
The reason I named the book Terror Town is, for one, because I was from the neighborhood, but number two, the other reason is because it's actually one of the it's a really bad neighborhood. So even when I was growing up, like I would meet people outside of the neighborhood, and they like say if a guy was trying to talk to me back in the 90s, and he liked me, he hit it off, he want to go out, he gonna come and pick me up, And he'd be like, "Where you live?" And I would tell him where I live, and he'd be like, "Oh, you live in Tarrytown?" Like, "Oh no, I ain't coming over there." It could be the roughest dude, the toughest dude, and you tell them you live in this particular area, they like, "Oh no, I'm not coming to pick you up."
So you got to start lying. Like,
come
I don't
meet
live
in
there. Yeah.
I'll meet you on the outskirts, one block away around the corner.
Walk a few blocks.
We'll
Exactly.
be dropping you off like I'm gonna watch you from here, girl.
Right.
I can't come over there. No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So
get somebody else to do it.
Right. And the
so
reason
it's an inner city story, basically. It's an inner city story.
Yeah, so it's an inner city story. I don't like to say it's in the urban genre, because the people in the industry who have seen my book kind of say it's really not an urban book. It's more, it's literary, a classic literature book, which I appreciate. But it is about the inner city. It is about a Black girl that grew up rough. Also, it's kind of like a double entendre to name it Tarrytown, because while so many people in the city in Chicago were scared of this neighborhood, for this girl, the neighborhood was actually a safe haven. So as rough as these guys were, they were murderers. They really loved this girl and her family, and they protected her, and she felt safer in the neighborhood than she did in her own home sometimes. So that was kind of a way for
Yeah, I think we could all relate to that too, coming from where we come from.
Exactly.
Left Wreck is our hood. Oh, well, you outside at 1 o'clock in the morning, you don't feel like, okay, so what? It's my hood. That's gonna happen to me.
But anybody else that'd be like, oh my goodness, you outside in the area?
No, exactly.
It is not my safe haven though. I got to come home.
Well, we're grown-ups now, but I'm saying, I mean, I always felt safe in Left Wreck.
I never
felt all the time.
I don't care what time I was coming home, walking through the hood, I never felt like anything was gonna happen to me.
No, you're right. You definitely right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's somebody that's not from there. They're like, whoa, you
who this Hoppo?
Like it was so bad, and that's why
you want to know who that is
to the neighborhood thing. But it would be like restaurants and stuff wouldn't deliver, like taxi cabs wouldn't. A lot of taxi cabs wouldn't go. It was that bad. It was that bad, and it still is. But
wow, it's so bad. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
some neighborhoods never change, unfortunately.
Yeah, some never change. But it's home.
It's home.
It was home for me. As dysfunctional as that may be for some people, but it was home. So, like for Amina, like I said, in her home life inside, you would think that's your safe haven. Right. But a lot of times it was not. It was the neighborhood that was a safe haven for her. And
home life wasn't.
Yeah, thankful that she had that. So,
right.
Is your book of poetry available?
Yes. So the only work that is available now is my book of poetry. That's available on Amazon, and it's available on a few other platforms. I can't really think about it. But to go back to what Ra was saying, like I don't shout it out like that. Oh, I don't, even though I probably should, but right now, because I don't have anything actively, ready to publish or like another thing down the pipeline, I kind of hush on it. But a lot of my family and friends are like, you should still tell people. And I'm like, but like he was saying, I don't, it's for me to say it and then I don't have anything to follow it up with.
Right.
I don't want to, it's kind of like a false flag to me. I don't want to say.
Ketari, I'm gonna get you a t-shirt, girl. It says I'm a published author. Don't play.
I'm an author.
And have you wear that.
I have to say, because I read both of the books before she took them back and revised them. They're excellent books. So I'm looking forward to the revisions so I can read them again. So I had them. Those are the copies that's going to, be years from now. Like, I had the original.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the author, that's my girl.
Very nice.
But when it does come out, y'all are going to know about it because we're going to tell the viewers when it's coming out for y'all to go buy it. So I'm looking forward to it. And Ketari, you have another question?
Sorry, thank you. Yes, I do. But before we go, this ain't got nothing to do with the books, though. But
oh shit,
how is that Taste of Chicago? I've been trying to figure this out. I'm trying to put it in the works and stuff. It's like a festival down there, the Taste of Chicago or something.
Okay. So let me tell you something. Okay. I know y'all from New York and everything, but Chicago.
So that was good.
Mm-hmm. Chicago food is the bomb. I know y'all, New Yorkers, y'all got y'all food and everything.
Right.
Chicago got some good food.
That's what I heard.
It's I'm talking.
I have to agree. I've been to Chicago.
When I go home, like I don't live in Chicago anymore, but when I go home, like I get excited. Like it's like kind of like an innate thing. Like, ooh, the first thing I'm gonna hit, like me and my son and my daughter, we always say, okay, we're going here, and it'd be about food. Like, I'm going to see my family. I love y'all, but I'm coming to eat too.
But I'm taking to eat.
Yeah,
the taste of Chicago is a it's like a melting pot of all of the different good. It's worth it. It's really good, and the entertainment is good too. But it's mainly the food. It's so good. It's like because one of the things about Chicago, unfortunately, it was heavily segregated and kind of still is. So you have Little Italy, you have Chinatown, you have Greektown, and all of them have authentic food, and all of them show up at the taste, and it's worth it. It is worth it.
I heard with Chicago is that they're culturally diverse, like New York is. So, like the food, like the biggest things right now is what's better, New York pizza or Chicago pizza, or who has the better hot dog. So I'm really excited about going. I'm really now.
When I had the Chicago pizza,
pizza.
I'm still New York all day long. It's good.
I like New York pizza too, but Chicago pizza is, oh my goodness.
And I'm not saying it's good. It's good though, but you know, I guess
and
it's like the Yankees and the Mets. You got to choose, right?
You got to choose, right? So I'm gonna go with the home.
I think I'm gonna say I think I like New York hot dogs. I hope no Chicago people out here listening.
I don't think I've ever had a hot dog in Chicago, so I don't know.
Yeah. Now, when is the festival?
It's usually around the 4th of July. So it's like a few days before and a few days after. Well, it leads up to the 4th of July where they have like a big fireworks show and things like that. And it's downtown Chicago. It's like in Grant Park. I don't think they've moved it, but it's downtown Chicago. I know a few years before they were saying it had become unsafe and things like that, but I think they fixed all of that up. So that's not an issue.
That's good, because I used to hear things about Grant Park back in the day.
Man, I ain't never scared. I've been scared. I ain't never scared.
You ain't never scared. Hey, don't be. But that area is really nice, and they really up their security and stuff like that. But in those particular areas, I don't think that they heavily monitored them because they never had to. So the couple of instances that they did have were unexpected. But Chicago is very like New York is very diverse. It's very diverse. Heavy.
Okay.
And
I love
That's
it.
something to think about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If y'all go, let me know. I'm gonna meet y'all there.
Yeah, we can all go, right? And meet up, you can show us around.
Yes,
Ketari, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And
you're welcome. Thank y'all for having me.
Whenever that work comes out, no pressure. No pressure.
I'm gonna let you know. You actually made me motivated to write some more. So I'm
looking forward to it. Because if she said Michelle's opinion I can hold that to know that if she said it's great, it's great.
Page turn. I was like,
ready.
Oh,
thank you. Thank you.
Just waiting for that to happen.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad to hear it.
But thank you so much
for having me. Thank y'all so much.
All right, you are welcome. Okay. Everybody say goodbye to Ketari.
Bye, Ketari.
Yes. I love it. Y'all go buy her poetry on Amazon.
Yeah, I will. I love it. That's
exciting. And for anybody that's trying to become an author or write, go ahead and do it. Do it. You probably got some stuff, some escapades you can write about.
Video book. You need to do a video book.
And title it the Pink
Talking to people. Yeah.
I think I might put me a book together.
Well, as you guys know, we end every show with a quote. So this is one of my favorite quotes by one of my favorite people, Audre Lorde. And the quote is, "When I use my strength in the service of my vision, it makes no difference whether or not I am afraid." So if you have a vision, do it, whether you're scared or not. Go ahead and do it. We will see you guys next week. Peace and love.